reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
My mug has gone empty. Bartender!
I don't trust lip smilers.
Lip smilers?
People who smile with just lips. They're obviously hiding something.
Happiness mode engaged.
Hello.
Welcome.
Ready for action.
Happy to meet you, hero.
Glad to have you with us.
You'll find everything you need here.
Hail, traveler.
Wake up, you motherless Ettins. It's time to go.
I'd offer the traditional pirate's greeting, but your spleen is better unperforated.
You're listening to Guild Wars Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network, brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter, and by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon at doghousesystems.com.
To another episode of Guild Wars Reporter. This is episode 211. I'm Celeste, and as always, I'm joined by the amazingly alluring, attractive Allona.
Hi, Celeste. You're pretty great.
I just felt the need to throw that in there as well.
It's like, I didn't know I had to have multiples.
I'm overachieving.
You are. Real English podcasting voices.
Yes, that definitely is something I try to do. So, Allona, what did you do in-game this week?
Well, the first one we both did, but I'm taking it. Last Wednesday, rather than doing a show, you and I ran Fractals with Gord, a sick Cora, and Gallios from Shadow of the Dragon podcast. And we had a hoot. And we actually put the Nightmare Fractal portion of it up on YouTube. So if anyone wants to watch that, it's about, 40 minutes?
Oh, around there, yeah.
Their boots. And I watched it at work, or listened to it while I was at work. And people were wondering what I was laughing at. And I was like, me. Essentially.
Basically.
Of course, Rendak. Meh.
Nah.
I think I only did it once this past week, though.
Oh, okay. Well, then, can you really complain about it if you only did it one time?
Yes, Celeste.
Okay.
I can and I will.
All right, then.
Although, by not doing it quite as frequently, I'm getting more of the world boss chests. Although I don't think Hunter got it. So that's weird. And I am continuing to make progress in Chuka and Chumpawat. I've finished the baby book sub-collection, which is, quite frankly, the best collection ever, and it's a little too bad it is at the end of the Chuka and Chumpawat collection because it is delightful. It is so good. I wonder if you could go into the instance with me.
Probably.
Because you can go to the tiger den and you can play with kittens. Or cubs.
That's so nice.
Yeah, you can play with them, and then you can put them on your backs. So sometimes I just go there and play with them. Like, what do I don't. I should do something else. What do I want to do? I'm gonna go play with the kittens. Cat Wars 2. I played a bunch of World vs. World on Friday night. No, Saturday.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you played on Reset?
No, I did not. I played Saturday night. And I got the Gift of Battle done.
Yay.
So I was making progress, and there wasn't an awful lot else going on at the time, so I just went, well, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. And when we were, or maybe it was, or was that Sunday? That was Sunday. Sorry, I wasn't online on Saturday. I had a friend's party I was at. Because after that, Citadel of Flame was the daily. And so Blaze, is it Blaze, Bane, and I? Oh, I may have forgotten who was there. I'm a terrible person. Anyway, we 3-manned it.
Nice.
And we did the path where you have to skip across the pool of lava where things fire at you. And yeah. But that is also the one where you have to get bombs and return them to the NPC. And we did it with, it was Panther, Blaze, and I.
Whoops.
I knew I didn't have it right. and so we 3-manned that. We actually did that when we got the bomb part done second try. And the second time we tried it, we did it with like a minute something left in the timer with just the 3 of us. Yeah, it was like really impressive because I remember that taking a long time with 5 people. Panther and Blaze went further afield, and then I ran up and around and did Portal with the 3 that were right above where the NPC was. So it was like Portal, drop off, back up, grab, Portal, down, drop off, back up again. Like it was a thing. And I got the snow leopard cub for my home instance. I don't know if you can get more than one. It's in the area of the new map where you have to have the potion to be able to resist the cold. I refused.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
I went in. It took me a couple tries, but with Blink, I was able to get in there and talk to the little cub, make it happy, and so that it was in my home instance. And it follows you around, Celeste. In your home instance, it follows you around.
I'm gonna have to get it now.
Yeah. I know there's more than one cub in that zone, so I don't know if you get multiple in your home instance, or if you get any one of them will unlock it for your home instance. I don't know which way it is, to be honest. And I did actually, I wrote down some PvP when it helped for dailies, but I don't know. I think it was actually a fair bit of PvP considering how little I'd done lately. So
nice.
Yeah. So I think that's everything. I also feel like I'm forgetting stuff, but let's leave it here. And what did you do?
Yeah, you'll remember in the middle of the show or something. It's fine. I did fractals on last Wednesday. Yep. And that was super fun. We need to do that more often.
It was fun.
So we didn't just do the Nightmare one either. I had done a couple other ones as well.
You know what I noticed when we were doing it, when I was rewatching it? You're a skill clicker.
Yes, I am. Because I'm using the wrong mouse.
It's like, Celeste is skill clicking.
Yeah, because when I stream, I can't use the mouse that I have the numbers on. I don't know why, but it just doesn't like it. So, yeah.
Oh, Danton in chat is reminding me something else I did. I chatted with Danton, and that was a highlight.
Wonderful.
Quote, unquote.
I opened a few of the Black Lion Trading Company chests, and I think about 5 of them, I think. And nothing.
Did you get any 4 drops? Or
Nope, nothing. I'm gonna have to remember not to use my thief. Apparently she has terrible luck.
Yeah, that's like Allona. I need to open things on my... I think I tried on my warrior, too, to open some, and also had terrible luck, so...
Yeah.
My Necro seems to be my most lucky character. Necro and Guardian.
My Necro and my Mesmer, which are probably my least played characters, really.
It's probably...
But they're still 80.
Probably not true at all. It's just our own superstition.
Well, I mean, you can see what the drops are like, so... And I'm slowly working on personal story for my Guardian. Very slowly. Getting to the fight with Zaitan. I'm like 2 or 3 instances away. It's just carving out the time for it has been funky lately.
Wow, it's not going to get any easier with the holidays coming up.
Exactly. I'm basically not going to get to play for the rest of the month.
Oh, and for the Citadel of Flame, we tried to get you to play with us, and I texted you and yelled at you over text many times. And
there was 2 messages.
Yeah. But I yelled.
That's many.
That's
many? Okay.
The all caps was there.
Okay. Yes. You did in fact yell. And I did not have my phone with me. It was in another room. So I didn't notice at all. Or I did, but it was like 11:30. And it was depressing because I wanted to play. And I think I did a daily or 2. I don't remember. I do know that I got double hits on my home instance today because I logged in right before turnover. Mm-hmm. So that was nice.
I have been completely falling down on the dailies outside of core dailies.
Oh, I'm terrible at that. I just don't even do them.
I know you should, but
yeah.
I only have... Okay, I don't know about you. Well, okay, I do know about you. Limited playtime. Mm-hmm. And when you have goals that you want to work towards, it's either I do this maintenance-y stuff, or I do what I
want to do.
That will progress me. So I just end up not the other. Not the daily.
Yeah.
Not the dailies and other... Like, I have... Actually, I don't think I've been to Bloodstone Fen since before Crack in the Ice came. Now that I think about it.
I haven't either.
We're terrible people.
I also only played in Bitterfrost like those first 2 days. Haven't been back yet.
Well, now you have to go back for a snow leopard.
We had found it when you and I were running through there, and we were like, oh, what's that about? And then we didn't do anything about it in that moment.
I think you could only do that if you have one of the Flames of Coda with you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Which I don't think we did.
No, we did not. So, I'm just going to have to run back and grab it.
Think we're ready for another attack?
From land, air, or sea, we won't be caught off guard again.
Report from Lion's Arch. Long live Lion's Arch.
We're going to start off with the gem store, just to get things out of the way, says Celeste in notes. Mm-hmm. There was an update yesterday to the gem store. There was some flavor text for Evan Nashblade, which is delightful. Mm-hmm. It says, after spending some time researching at the trading post, I've determined that the hot new item on everyone's wish list this year is theft-proof quivers. You heard it here first. Those jerks who keep sneaking arrows from you in the thick of the battle? Yeah, I've got their numbers. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty great.
Because your quiver runs out in Guild Wars.
Always, because...
yeah. It's not magical or anything.
Magic quiver. And so in the gem store, there is the Fire Quiver backpack skin at 400 gems, which is actually pretty reasonable. The Snowflake Glider returns for 500 gems.
Yep.
As do the Winter Chimes die kit. They are 1 for 125, 5 for 500, or 25 for 2500. And just a reminder that you may or may not, you're not guaranteed to get one of the Winter Chimes dies.
Nope.
It is random chance.
Mm-hmm. How many are you buying?
I usually buy one, actually.
Okay.
For 125 because the fourth year birthday presents have the Winter Chimes dies in them.
Oh.
So I've already got the 2 that I really liked out of that. I already have because of the birthday presents.
Yeah, so you can select the one you want.
Yeah. As well, there is a Messenger's travel package, which includes the Snow Owl mail carrier, Timey's die kit, Winter's Day earmuffs, Merchant Express, and Heroic Booster, and that's 445 gems, which is actually a pretty great buy.
Yeah, I think they said that it's actually 35% off.
Yeah.
Versus the a la carte.
Yeah. And I don't... Is this one of those ones that the price will change if you have any of the items, or would you get...
I would assume so.
Because I already have, obviously, the snow... Well, not obviously. Obviously. I already have the Snow Owl mail carrier and the Winter's Day earmuffs. So it would just be like the die kit, the Merchant Express, and the Heroic Booster, so I probably wouldn't use it for that, but...
Yeah, you'd probably have to check, because you know what? I have the earmuffs, so that price may be modified to my client, if that is geared that way. I'm not sure.
I'm going to check Dolphy.
She does not have the package on there. So, on Guild Chat, they did an episode on A Crack in the Ice. They had Anthony Ardon, who worked mostly on the mastery for the area. Alina Chadwick, who she said, quote, "Quaggins in the Quaggin City." But really, she did a lot as far as programming. And then Kevin Freeman, who worked on the Precocious Aurene story step. Dragon training for the Precocious Aurene segment was important to make sure that, Aurene wouldn't want to eat us, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. He incorporated research about codes of chivalry, Bushido code, child development, and teaching values to children in a school setting. That's way more research than I would have thought.
And, because we didn't talk about story stuff previously...
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I loved that step. And
I did too. I thought it was pretty great.
And I did it twice, and I'm very glad Aurene didn't eat me.
I am also glad Aurene didn't try to eat me. But to kind of jump around a little bit, since we're talking about Aurene, at one point, her scaling was messed up, so she was, gigantic and playing hide-and-seek in that same chamber.
I never had that.
No, this was before release.
Okay.
It got fixed well before release.
Oh.
But it was a bug that triggered internally, and everybody was like, what the... sort of moment. Because she would romp through the room, like her little galloping hop thing, but she's gigantic.
That's
funny.
I kind of wish it had made it in.
Right?
Yeah.
They tried to make it so that you could do non-linear activities instead of having to do them all. And it was attempted, but it just didn't work as far as coding or programming. He seemed rather upset about it. Kevin did, to be honest.
What do you mean exactly by that?
That if you wanted to just do fishing or feeding the orphans, you could just repeat that event over and over again.
Ah, okay.
And that he tried to implement it, but it wouldn't work.
Bummer.
I liked doing all of them. I thought it was a nice variety.
And having done it a second time fairly shortly after, I never felt like, ugh, gotta do this again. So that's good.
Yeah, the only thing that was really confusing about that instance was the very last fight, which was just like, what's happening here?
Which one's the last fight again?
Where you have to stand in the circle, so synchronizing attacks.
Yes, that one took forever the first time to figure out.
Yeah, there was a lot of little things in this episode where you were just like, wait, what am I supposed to do now? Because I didn't get to talk about my experience. But that was frustrating for me. Mm-hmm. Bitterfrost has a lot of distinct areas where stories were being told, and then those stories were woven into a narrative for the zone. So it might seem like things are kind of coming out of nowhere, but they actually had okay, these are the stories we want to tell through this episode. Let's make these hearts and events and find an area in the zone for them to fit. That sort of thing.
Cool.
As far as the torch mastery, it's meant to be an ancient magic origin, and within the lore of Kodan, they were entrusted to look after a number of spirits, and the Spirit of Fire seemed to be an appropriate fit for the area, considering the bitter cold and chill effect. Mm-hmm. So that's what they decided to go for. And the bitter cold actually went through a few different iterations. Initially, it was just a chill effect that would apply on and off every few minutes, and that was kind of this is silly.
Weak sauce.
Very. And then there was the storm tornadoes that would wander through the map, and they didn't want to cover the whole map with bitter cold because they felt that it would have been extremely obstructive. Which, yeah, very obstructive.
They found a good balance, I think.
Definitely. Having it just be in one part of the zone made it a lot easier to manage. I liked having the locked, well, not necessarily locked, but it would hurt if you went in there without the protection of the potion.
It does. It hurts a great deal. The thing is, okay, so it's kind of fun. Well, okay, frustrating. Because it's kind of frustrating, but also kind of fun because you'll forget and you're like, la la la, I'm going in here for this. Ow, 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 the pain. And then you're like, oh yeah, the potion.
Mm-hmm.
So, frustrating.
Funstrating. One of the questions was, why does the torch skill only have 5 times before needing to be recharged?
'Cause.
He basically said, it's meant to be that you pick it up, you use it for whatever you're going to use it for, and just drop it, and it's not a big deal. It was meant to be so that it felt more disposable, and you didn't have to carry it with you, that sort of thing. The fire tornado was originally a skill that would chase down the ice tornadoes, but they had become less prevalent, and it was just kind of taken out. And then the skills were generally less powerful, and they decided to ramp them up a bit.
They're actually pretty effective against the ice brood.
I still have not even bought them.
Oh, I did, and I was genuinely, because normally things like that, you're like, okay, well, I'm better off using my skills.
Right.
Now, granted, I don't necessarily have the most optimal, dangerous, damage-dealing build on my main, by any means, but at the same time, they're still way better than most environmental weapons.
Yeah, that's something that they were trying to avoid, is that they wanted to make it feel fun but not punishing.
But also worthwhile using those skills.
Yes. Like for Coda's Reach,
that's
actually a bug that it infinitely bounces. And it's something that they may eventually fix, but for the moment,
it's a feature. It's a feature.
It's a feature. I agree. They couldn't get out of doing the episode without talking about Bram and how much ire he has acquired.
See, I mean, for as much as we named the last episode, or the Norn teenagers, ugh.
Yeah.
As much as, like, I don't hate the way they've done, like, I mean, I find the attitude irritating, but I think it's supposed to be, so that's totally fine. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And they try to approach it from different perspectives as well, saying stuff like his youth and naivety have frustrated him to the point of taking immediate action. He doesn't want to play the long game anymore. And he's kind of resenting the players' inability to surrender our quest to defeat the dragons. He's kind of feeling like, well, you guys are the only ones that can kill dragons? Like, I can do this too.
Yes.
And understanding that characters in the story aren't just going to blindly follow your lead, I think, is a refreshing method. Mm-hmm. But as players playing that character, we see the damage he's doing, and it irks us. So,
yeah.
But he's also, I mean, he's taking his own hero's journey, and we're seeing that transition from lackey sidekick to becoming a hero in his own right. And that's, I think, a really interesting storyline, even though it's irritating to us as players, not necessarily as characters.
A little bit of a segue from Guild Chat, but did you watch WP's video that he put out? I think it was just today on Bram.
I had not.
It's actually quite excellent. There's a difference between you're writing a character that you're irritated with versus people saying that it's bad writing because they're too mutual. They're
mutually exclusive most of the time.
Yeah, like this is actually arguably better storytelling, but he has a lot of interesting points as well towards this. But yeah, I found it less irritating the second time through. I would have to say.
Okay.
His teenagerdom.
Well, I think the first time you're kind of confronted with it and it's a bit shocking.
Mm-hmm.
One of the bugs that I had not said so far was that your character would say dialogue within an event area. You know, when you go into the Wolves and Griffins event, there's a player dialogue that triggers. Well, that's actually new technology because at one point the player would be talking about wolves in a different area of the forest from across the map because it was using the broadcast range.
Oh.
So, like when you're halfway across the map and it tells you, oh, there's an event over there, you kind of see it pop up on your UI. That's broadcast range. So you're talking about wolves and you're like in the spawn area, like, what?
I appreciate that they're doing that actually, because you hear people like, oh, there's so many things that make it through, but this is like, no, look, we caught a bunch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They need to put sit jump back in.
They actually remarked on that. There's so many things that people tell them. Can we just leave it in? Now, as far as devs reacting to players' reactions on the episode, one of the things that Anthony Ordone liked was players noticing the Coda staff torch is actually like a Kodan head.
Yeah.
On the top. Happy that people managed to see that, despite the fact that it was very subtle. Or he initially had thought it was very subtle, rather.
To be honest, I thought it was like a wolf howling.
Me too.
But Kodan head makes more sense.
It does. Alina apologized for murdering kittens.
Okay. What?
When you go to the snow leopard, they have their whole family there. But you're only able to free one.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. One of the other things that they really enjoyed was there was a particular guild run that was reacting to Aurene and the hidden toys that were in the instance. The players reacted so happily about it that it just really made the devs' day.
Yay.
Anthony was also asked, because he had been head of the current events team, in a public sense, if that team is still ongoing, and he said yes, but he's not in charge of them at the moment.
Did they by any chance mention if these are ever going away? If they, one, will go away, and two, if they will, that we'll get heads up about it.
The current events?
Yeah.
Gosh, I hope so. But you know, they still have the current events up that lead up to Hot.
Do they? Which ones are those?
Mm-hmm. The vines and the wolves.
Okay.
Those are still happening.
Oh. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. The new map doesn't have a boss because it wasn't a main focus of the map. They wanted to make sure that it was more about exploration, in case you were curious.
I hadn't noticed there wasn't a boss. When I read that, I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice.
So you were too busy doing other things.
I was too busy doing other things.
Yeah. And a fun thing from chat, this was just Anatoly talking on the chat, was that Aurene is the cat dragon. She does the making biscuits thing with her feet. I had noticed that and thought it was adorable.
What's the making biscuits thing?
You know how cats like knead things?
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that was called making biscuits.
Well, you know, like you're kneading dough, you're making biscuits.
Okay.
And there will be another guild chat this week on the 9th.
And full disclosure, I have not seen this guild chat yet because I cannot get the Twitch to show. It will not play for me for whatever reason. I'm mentioning it in case other people are also having this issue. Maybe we need to tell someone. I tried on multiple devices, couldn't get it to work.
I don't know. Really don't know.
Weird.
And they didn't import it to YouTube either. It's just on Twitch.
Yup. Sad.
Mm-hmm.
We also found out that Winter's Day is going to begin on December 13th, as well as PvP Season 5 will begin on the 13th. I think they said Winter's Day was December 13th to January 10th?
Did they say that on there?
I saw that somewhere. I don't know where I saw that now.
Yeah, it's not on the website.
Huh. I might be making this up, but I might have been on the Massively article.
Possible.
And I may not have the right dates.
Surviving the Mists. Ask an Azura.
Excelsior.
But speaking of PvP Season 5, we are going to do Surviving the Mists and Ask an Azura Hybrid, because we did actually get a fair bit of information about the PvP League changes.
Mm-hmm.
Full disclosure, I completely stole these bullet points from Delphi, because they existed, and I'm going to read them. And we'll have a link to both the Guild Wars 2 page as well as Dulfie's page where she has these listed out. Hunter saying that MMORPG is saying that it's till... And was I correct with the 10th? I believe I am. I'm going to go with that. So, some of the changes for PvP coming up as of next Tuesday. There is going to be better matchmaking. They're simplifying matchmaking, removing the pip restriction for matchmaking so you will have a larger pool of players to play with, and queue times will be much shorter. This will especially help high-skilled players that had a long queue time previously. And I'm having a hard time. There's actually screenshots as well, and it's a massive overhaul before we get too far into this.
It is.
Massive overhaul, and I'm a little confused how this is actually all going to work out. And they've said previously they were changing things, the matchmaking stuff, and it was going to make things much better. Like, they say that every time.
Yeah, pretty much.
And maybe third time's a charm?
Let's hope so.
It's season 5, but I think this is the third major overhaul, right? Would you say that that's accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I'm curious to see what it will be like in action once I get in there and actually figure out how it works. They go on to say that they're going to try out solo and duo queue options, which has been something that people have been asking for a very long time.
Yes. So basically what that means is that there's going to be if you're a full group, you can compete with another full group, or you can queue in as a solo or a 2-man team to be matchmaked on your team as well.
Didn't the first season have solo and duo queue and they got rid of it?
Might have.
I feel like that was a thing. Again, might be making things up. The new skill rating system that places you into traditional style divisions like bronze, silver, and gold, each with an accompanying badge. So again, there's screen caps for these things. I'm a little baffled how this is working until we get in there. There's going to be a soft reset like every season, which will move everyone's rating closer to an average. Everyone will need to play 10 placement matches to determine their starting rating for the season. And placement matches were something that I remember reading about last season. People were asking for placement matches before it starts so they could figure out, okay, where should I be? So you're not starting at the bottom every single time, or close to the bottom. Rating decay is being introduced. Inactive players will experience a drop in rating if they don't play, but they can earn back that rating by playing. This decay can drop your divisions and cause you to lose your badge, just like losing matches can drop your divisions. I find this very vague, the way they're writing this. Like, okay, is this like if you're AFK, or if you don't play for a few days, or...
If you don't play for an extended period of time.
But what is that?
Days or weeks.
How long is the season?
I don't know. I'm just saying that if you don't play for a certain amount of time, it'll start to decay. I'm assuming it's going to be at least a few days.
I am going to decay. Because I will not play enough for this to not be effective.
Yeah. That's going to be a thing that if you're going to start on this league, you need to play the whole time.
Yeah.
Which I don't particularly like.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's like, okay, people rush to get to Legendary and then they're like, oh, okay, I'm done.
Oh. I wonder if the decay is different depending on what rank you are.
Maybe.
Maybe? I don't know. Moving on, they've also said there's going to be better rewards. Previously, once you reached a division that matched your skill, you stopped earning rewards. Because Pips was a skill system and not a skill and prestige system.
Right.
Now that we have a brand new skill rating system for prestige, we don't need Pips to serve a dual purpose anymore. They did a rebalance pass for all the rewards in the Pip system. There is more gold, which is awesome. And we have added avenues to earn ascended gear. As you progress through the Pip system, we made sure the rewards at the end are much better than the ones at the beginning. I find this very interesting, and I did see... So it looks to be how some of the changes they made for fractals, where you can buy ascended gear from an NPC there, it looks almost like the exact same thing, but just with PvP currency.
It's just another avenue for you to get ascended gear.
Yeah.
Which is important, I think.
So we'll have a link to the Delphi recap as well as the original post for this. And that starts Tuesday.
Rich over on Facebook asked, at what point in the story will Braum be clubbed with a shovel? Smiley face. My response was, we can only hope we'll be seeing that in the next patch. I want to see that cinematic again, but with rocks hitting him over the head from behind.
He does need a... Okay.
Like, okay, Knucklehead, that's enough.
That's enough. So, yeah, Poor Bram.
It's more like a player fantasy, really.
Bram's the new Traherne.
That's unfortunate.
I like Traherne. I'm one of the few people, apparently.
We know. We know.
I also really liked Cormier, so...
Yep.
Again, I had a tip for this week, and it's partly my tip and partly proving that I listen to Hunter when he gives me tips. So even if you're not a fan of World vs. World, there are a couple pretty quick World vs. World dailies that can be added to your roster. And you might want to do these for a few reasons. One, just time. They're fairly quick to do. Two, if you are working on Gift of Battle or want to get the Gift of Battle at some point, but don't World vs. World, and you could just add this to do a couple of these if they're available to make progress on your Gift of Battle reward track. So if you're in a guild that has the World vs. World building upgraded, you can complete Big Spender Lickety Split by spending the Badges of Honor with Davis the Survivor. And not only do you get the daily, but you also, from the chest, get a little potion of reward track rewards. So you get that as well. Or you can keep an eye out for Master of Monuments. And if you are in the Alpine Borderlands ones, you can hop in. And the monuments are the ring of capture points that are south of the garrison. So you come into the main, whatever the heck it's called. And then the garrison south of that, if you waypoint to that, and then just there's a door that will lead you directly south, and you just hop down a bunch of cliff sides safely, because you can't glide in World vs.
No
World.
gliding.
Remember, no gliding in World vs. World. Any of those rings, if you capture them, that's a really quick daily to get. And finally, daily Veteran Creature Slayer. Again, if you're in one of the Alpine Borderlands, on the far left of the map, and it's north of Ascension or Dreadfall Bay, because they have different names depending which color they are.
Right.
There is the Veteran Worm. I personally find the Veteran Worm the easiest to run to, and partly because you don't tend to get enemies running through there, so you can kind of hang out there relatively safely. And I think Hunter said it's on a 20-minute timer. I think the most I've had to wait is like 7 or 8 minutes, and it just might be that I'm lucky for that.
Possible.
But it's great. So when I see those in the dailies, I usually, Big Spender. Everyone loves Big Spender. I mean,
oh yeah,
I do. But the other two are ones that I've certainly added because they're pretty attainable.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So my tip for this week is, hey, did you know there's a tips page on the wiki?
This is a terrible tip. You're stealing. This is where we get tips.
It has all the tips.
Okay, I use this page to get tips sometimes.
I've just ruined everything. It might be the best thing since sliced rainbow cake. Just gotta say.
Sliced rainbow cake. Remember the culinary cosplay of sliced rainbow cake?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. I need to find that again.
I need to make rainbow cake again pretty soon.
Okay, I have to stop reading the tips page.
I actually scrolled through and I didn't actually learn anything new, but I would say that it's better if you're relatively new to the game. you know?
Because it is the wiki and it is constantly being curated, it will have out-of-date tips removed and new ones added.
Yes.
So it is good to revisit even if you think you know all the tips and tricks.
Mm-hmm.
As well, we have our Box of What game that we had previously. And we had 2 entries.
Yes. Greetings, fantastic forecasting, podcasting for...
Incoming delivery from warehouse supervisor Flintblade.
Return to sender.
Error. Priority consortium message attach. Autoplaying. Thought you might be hungry. Sent you a snack. Ha ha. The package is a pile of candy corn.
Just put up with the other piles. Moving on. So the game is adding new things to the Box of Fun? Happily, the consortium has been working on a new and improved Box of Fun. It's still in beta. Here's what's in it so far. A new set of unique dance moves. The Commander Conga Line. The Bagception Box Step. The Ley Line Limbo. And the Salty Slide. Next, Who Am I? When you interact with the box, Mesmer Magics temporarily randomly change your race and sex. Racial armors even change to match your new race. Warning, the consortium is required to notify users that the definition of temporarily is between 90 seconds and 19,203 years. Feeling legendary. For a few moments, your character gains the particle effects and footfalls from a random legendary. This may be a limited time offer due to the tenuous nature of the agreement with Zamoros.
That's a great one.
Isn't it? Paintball gun. You gain a paintball gun toy. You select one color, then you can shoot the other players, temporarily coating them in a color of your choice. The consortium is not responsible for damages or cleaning from any act of vandalism for the use of this toy. Well, that's what we have so far.
Those are 4 of the 20 active projects in the project, indexing the other projects.
The other ones are more alpha, some very alpha. There's no need for sharing any of the others, especially ones involving medical treatment. Well, Particle Shift signing off. Gollum, send.
Incoming package from the 3rd tier file clerk Sotaro Tele.
Just send the message and then we'll deal with the package.
Sending. Beep boop. I like the beep boop.
I have the feeling that's why you wanted to be the robot.
It is why I wanted to be the robot. Those are all really great, actually.
Yeah. I like them.
I particularly like the Feeling Legendary.
That is pretty great. I also think that paintball gun would be really fun.
Paintball gun would be great. We also got one from Blaze, a new surprise in the Box of Fun. Well, obviously, the rare last laugh. You thought these bosses and encounters were somewhere else in-game or not in season. Well, you're right until one hops out of the box during your statue dance party. Now within the Box of Funs is a small chance for bosses/encounters to hop out, such as the Mossman's little brother, a Jade Maw tentacle, a random cat golem, a lost band of Aetherblades, any possible guild bounty, and of course, Rogue Winter's Day, that scale off of player's level, not the level of the zone.
Uh-huh. That's pretty great.
It is good.
I like random enemies. Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, that's what Facebook's for. Or the internet in general.
Keeps you on your toes?
Random enemies.
Oh, yes, that's very true. So, we're gonna come to a surprise news segment, as it were. I've been doing the show for almost 5 years, and it's taken a lot of time and resources and energy to be doing it for as long as I have, and it feels like it's a child of its own. It's become a child of its own in my house. And unfortunately, I just don't have the time anymore. So this show and the next couple of shows are going to be my last. It's not the end of the show, perhaps. As far as we know, there's not going to be any other hosts to take it over. But yeah. It's the end of an era.
Yep.
And
I don't want to do Guild Wars Reporter permanently without Celeste. So I am also going to head out the door. I will say for me, I would like to maintain a connection with the community in some way. Now is not the place to talk about that. But
we're both still going to be around.
We will both still be around.
We're not disappearing by any means, but the show's not going to go on with us, at least.
Yes. We're not ninja smoke bombing.
Yeah. We did want to give a heads up because we didn't want to just fall off the face of the planet.
Yep.
Which happens to a lot of podcasts. And we feel like we owe the community too much to just drop it and be done.
Yeah. Yeah, just disappearing wasn't an option.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So, that's what's happening, and I hate to let it go. It feels like I'm abandoning a big part of my life, but it's just the situation I'm in. I can't keep going with it.
Yeah. But now we can stream on Wednesday nights, whatever we want. Like we can 3-man Citadel of Flame.
If we so choose.
If we so choose. And we are doing the show on Friday with Relics, the co-show, and we are going to be doing the wrap-up for last year's prediction show, so we can do the scorecard to see how well each of us did.
Yep.
And we're not sure what's happening after that necessarily.
So, it may not seem like much, but through the power of the internet, it is now the next day. And I've pulled myself back into a human being instead of a human being-shaped puddle.
Linear time? What?
And so we just wanted to record a quick outro. We didn't want to leave you with me sobbing at the end, I guess. It just felt really awkward to end the episode there.
Like, bye, click, boo.
Exactly. So, yeah, we're recording an episode tomorrow with Relics of Ore. We are probably going to be doing that live. I'm going to try and get this out in the morning. So actually it's going to be, we're recording it today, this evening, at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
At our usual channel of twitch.tv/MMOreporter. And, yeah, it's definitely not safe for work. It's not going to be.
It's Friday, y'all.
It's Friday, so the juice shall flow.
Maybe not as much as last time.
Maybe not as much. We kind of goaded each other on during the episode, even.
Let's be honest, it was all Greibach.
Yes. It was.
I don't want to point fingers, but it was all Greibach.
Yeah.
Who needed to lie down.
During the episode.
Sorry, I'm just remembering that now.
But it's going to be a great time. That's actually going to be our episode for next week, rather than having an episode dedicated to the Winter Stay update.
That said, I think streaming on the Wednesday is still a possibility.
Yeah. It could happen indeed. We probably will do like the jumping puzzle or something to that effect. Maybe they'll actually let you group up with people now.
No. I'll be genuinely surprised if they do.
It's not likely at all.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there you go. Thank you, Allona, for doing the show with me.
As always, I love it.
Me too. And thank you, chat room, for joining us last night. Thank you for downloading the show. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that we see you again next week. But most importantly, we hope to see you in-game.
The Legion calls.
So if you have a community event that you would like for us to share, go ahead and send us an email.
Seize the moment.
And if you've got a burning question or for our Ask an Azura segment, just let us know.
I'm selling. You buying? We have coupon codes for Doghouse Systems. Use the coupon code MMO Reporter at doghousesystems.com to get an additional 120 gigabyte Super Star Destroyer drive for free on their next build.
No free samples.
Patreon page. If you're in love with the show or the network, please consider becoming a patron on our Patreon page.
Thanks for pitching in.
In the very least, it helps us keep the metaphorical lights on. So check it out at patreon.com/MMO Reporter.
That fulfills my needs. Thanks so much.
audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter. Books!
Books, now with sound!
Knowledge is the greatest treasure.
If you want a free audiobook, you should go to audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter.
That's valuable.
So, Allona, if people want to get in contact with us, how would they do so?
They would email us at gwreporter@mmoreporter.com. Twitter is @gwreporter. Our website is guildwarsreporter.com.
You must visit more often.
Voicemail is 616-666-6778, or use the widget on the right-hand side of the website. Our YouTube channel is MMO Reporter Network, and remember to like our videos and subscribe to the GW Reporter playlist. And if you feel like it, wander around and see what other shows are on the network that you might enjoy.
You are a welcome guest.
Facebook is GW Reporter. Tumblr is gwreporter.tumblr.com. And you can visit us on Twitter. I am at OneBigPear, as in the fruit, as in PEAR.
And I am at Celyuki, CELEOOKIE.
Yep.
Or at Hunter's Insight, one word.
Or you can find us in-game, where I am Celyuki.5046.
And I'm OneBigPear.1249.
And you can get me in-game at Hunt, H-U-N-T, I forget my user display name or whatever.
Thanks to our fantastic chat room. You were busy and awesome and super cool tonight, so thanks a lot for coming out and recording with us. But most importantly, we hope to see you in game.
May the spirits of the wild watch over you.
Good hunting.
Keep your blade sharp and your powder dry.
Take care of yourself.
May the Six watch over you.
Until next time.
Boo boo. Do 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 do. Boo boo do boo do 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 boo boo. Beep boop. Boo doo doo boop boop boo. Doo doo. Doo 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 doo. Ba da doo wa doo. Boo doo 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 doo. Boo doo doo boo doo.
Besides, it'll always mix up right on Audacity. Let me check my wave on
Well, yeah, no, I was just wondering about.
This is my podcasting voice. I am talking with my podcasting voice. Yeah, it's running fine.
This is my podcasting voice. I'm going to create one just for this.
It's, I don't know. I tend to talk a certain way when we're doing show.
Show.
Faux show.
Faux show.
Faux show. Yes. I was doing really well.
Oh, Celeste. Internet hugs. Do 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 do. Hee.